Gumbo Social.
Yeah. Gumbo Social came out of the, as I was saying earlier, it came out of the out of those Christmas parties.
Mm-hmm.
I want to invite folks over. It was a Christmas gifts out of people. You know, come over, get a bowl of gumbo Christmas gift. No, I'm joking.
Hey, but seriously, that's not a bad gift.
Right. And so we did this a couple of times, and I'm like, why isn't my friend Wayne showing up to this thing? This guy is the life of the party. He walks in the room, everyone's instantly happy. He's
Mm-hmm.
talking to everybody. He's telling great jokes. He's telling great stories, but he doesn't show up to the gumbo thing. I'm like, what's going on? I call Wayne. I'm like, Wayne, I've invited you multiple times. You don't show up. He's like, I'm allergic to seafood.
Oh,
And I felt like I knew that, but I didn't remember that.
okay.
And so he was like, well, if you make it without seafood, I'll come. I'm like, no, man, everyone wants seafood. Like, you just need to still come. He's like, I don't even be in the room with it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next year I make the gumbo. I make a chicken and sausage gumbo. And I'm like, okay. I text the menu out to everybody and I say, look, par Wayne's instructions, no seafood gumbo. Now I'm gonna have crab, lobster, scallops, pork belly, all these different accoutrements on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, you tell me what you want, and I'll make your own bowl of gumbo. And I had people over here at my house that I don't even know. You know,
Okay.
can I get a bowl? And it was amazing because everyone had, some people wanted crab, some people didn't. Some people wanted scallops. Like, they never had scallops in their life. It
Mm-hmm.
was a different feeling. And I probably that year we did the customized bowl of gumbo. I probably had about 50 people come to my house. My place is small,
Okay.
so
So something was going on at
it
Dante's
was
house.
standing room only.
Something was going on. For and for our listeners, I should say, that are, have not had a chance to enjoy a good bowl of gumbo. Give us a little history of it and what the dish is.
Yeah, gumbo to me is the most important dish to American culture. It's a true melting pot dish. I think for me it's a merge and meld of cultures. The dish itself and the core of it, okra, originated from Africa, and brought here through the slave trade. And very much like how jazz music was created, was a mix of cultures, the Creole and the French, and you had all these people melding together, um, and playing music together. To me, that's how gumbo was really created. So it has some old world ingredients and some new world ingredients, and it has some French technique in there, which
Mm-hmm.
that roux
Right.
is a new world French technique. The mix of mixing fat and flour together to create a base, to make a sauce thicken.
Mm-hmm.
That's a French contribution. And as we know, okra will make your gumbo thick as well.
Correct.
There's a lot of people who do a non-roux gumbo and they use the okra as a thickener, or they'll use a filet as a thickener.
Mm-hmm.
And those are all acceptable things. But in my opinion, a good gumbo should always have some okra in it.
Gotcha.
If you're
Gotcha.
making your gumbo without okra,
It ain't
shame on you.
gumbo. Oh, is it gumbo?
No, I'm getting New York on people on that. When you go to New York, people will tell you. You ask someone in New York, where's the best pizza? They give you one place. They don't give you 15 places.
Right.
In California, we'd be like, well, this place is good. No, 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 no. It ain't gumbo if it don't have no okra. It has to have okra.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So this social, I'm assuming, kicked off Gumbo Social.
Hmm.
And then what was next? Did you know that you wanted to start at a farmer's market? Were you doing more street sell? What was next, for Gumbo Social?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm here with a mesh of different people, and my business minded friends are like, dude, why aren't you selling this? And then it went as basic as, why are you just charging everyone here? I'm like, no, I'm not accepting any money. I'm doing this because I want to do it.
Hmm.
And I feel like if we just do stuff for money, then, like, I don't know. It's to me, it's not great. I don't know how to just do stuff for money. That's not how I operate.
Right,
And
right.
so,
Going
um,
back to being of service to others, right?
mhm. So if you dangle some money in front of somebody, if that's their only driver, then good luck. There's no
Hmm.
substance there. There's no core
Right,
there. And so for me, I have to be doing something because I want to actually do it. Me serving someone and being kind to someone is because that's who I am and that's what I want to do, not because the tip's going to be bigger.
right,
I'm gonna serve you. I don't even look at. I could care less about a tip. Now take care of my people, the people that are working. Take care of those guys. But at our core, at my core, the core of the company, we want to make sure you come here in what your expectation was. We want to exceed that.
right.
If you came here just for a good bowl of gumbo, we hope we gave you a great bowl of gumbo and some good service to go along with that good bowl of gumbo or great bowl of gumbo.
Absolutely. Now, I know you have had this happen to you where someone will come up and critique your gumbo
Mm-hmm.
based on their mamas, their grandmothers, whoever. How do you handle that?
I laugh.
Mm-hmm.
There was an amazing post about 2 years ago, and it said, uh, you know, today's National Gumbo Day. Let's talk about gumbo. And there's no good gumbo in the Bay Area,
Oh,
and I just start going in on people. Uh, Tell me where a good bowl is at. Oh, my grandmother. How can we get it? Your grandmother ain't making
right,
30 gallons of gumbo every week. No, I don't think so. Your grandmother using that gumbo base.
right.
Yeah. So no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear um this person makes it. Look, your palate, but if you're using pre-made ingredients, that's, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. Good luck. And what I've learned is a lot of people that I interact with that look like me, sometimes we don't understand where what our food actually should taste like. Sometimes we have this perception of what is good and what is not based off of a different set of metrics. Like I have friends that, you know, these guys have never been to the South and they have no idea what food outside of their culture tastes like.
Absolutely. And
And
that
I'm like,
holds true to anybody, right? If you are, from another culture and you've never tasted, you know, Creole food, Cajun food, whatever, how can you truly be the judge of that food?
right. And so the way I handle it, I handle it with kindness, to be honest. And I have a policy where we'll give anyone their money back.
Hmm.
But if you tell me it wasn't good and you can't describe why it's good, then I know you're kind of bullshitting.
Right.
We did this really big festival in Sacramento, and a woman. It was a test in patience for me. This woman came back and she said, "Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful, but this is terrible." I said, "You said you didn't want to be disrespectful, but you just said something that I made with my own hands was terrible. And there's a group of people here who think it's delicious.
Right.
If your palate doesn't agree with it, no problem.
Absolutely.
We'll give you your money back, and please keep. We don't want the food back. Take it, But the policy is, once we give you your money back, you can't come back again.
Oh, I know
So
that's
it's
right.
almost like one of those relationships. If you break up with me, you can't come back.
There's no, they'll come back. I want to try it again. Or what? I know that's right.
No.
You know, there's always got to be one. Always have to be one wherever you're at. So tell me about where we can find you right now before we get into the new restaurant that's popping up. Tell us about the farmers market.
Yeah,
And I know it's been well received there.
I love farmers markets. Yeah, we met at a farmers market, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so we don't get that interaction unless you're able to see me cooking and talking and having a good time interacting with people. I think farmers markets are really a window into what the community looks like and what's in season. And so we're at the Outer Sunset Farmers Market in San Francisco every Sunday from 9 to 2. Um, it's been rainy. It's been rainy lately, so it's been a little hard to do. It's been a
You
little
got to
hard
be
to
a
do.
hardcore farmers market person.
Oh yeah, we were in the rain yesterday. That was fun. Um, it was terrible, but it was great. People, we still sold out of. We still. I don't know how we do. We got a great customer base or guest base. People just come out and support us no matter what.
Yeah. And shout out to Phyllis with Living with Phyllis because she was like, you got to try this gumbo. And hence we went to the farmer's market that Sunday and I met you. So, I mean, and me just seeing it with my own eyes, I mean, people know where to go for their gumbo on Sunday. So, and
Right.
that was Gumbo Social.
There's still a lot of people who don't know about us, but I
Mm-hmm.
will say we have some rock stars like Phyllis who just love our product and love what we do and love us and she's just always really talking about the great work that Black entrepreneurs are doing. So
Right.
people like Phyllis are just special humans that the world wouldn't be right without.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you've got a brick and mortar that is in the works right now. Talk about that in your home community in the Bayview.
Yeah, it's an honor to really bring something to the Bayview that's going to be incredible. Um, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I don't want to, I don't want no restaurant. I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with it. I
Mhm.
want to deal with it. And she told
Now,
me
was a food truck an option? Did you think about a food truck before a brick and mortar?
food truck was an option. It would have been a more affordable option, but this opportunity was an opportunity. I won't say a one in a lifetime opportunity, but it was an opportunity that we couldn't pass up.
Okay.
And so the opportunity was to be in the Bayview. The opportunity was to expand on the great work that Mr. Marcel Banks has already done in the community. His restaurant's been there for 14 years. And so I have to kind of remind community that we're not taking over.
Right.
We're just expanding and building on the great work that he did. If people go back in the history of Frisco Fried, um, Marcel's place has been voted, best chicken in California 3 or 4 times in 10 years. It's been featured in multiple magazines and publications. And so um, we're really expanding on something that he's already created, the legacy of good Black entrepreneurship.
Awesome. And what's the location? What's the address where it's going to be located?
Yeah, it's going to be 5176 3rd Street uh, in the Bayview. Um, yeah, I'm excited.
Mm.
It's like having a new baby.
Absolutely. But, speaking of that, you've come with some experience, though, having this baby, right? So, what are some past experiences being when you've worked for others and working for yourself that you wanted to make sure set the foundation for Gumbo Social, brick and mortar?
Yeah, really good question. So I think one of the big differences is majority of the people that are there are family.
Hmm.
And so that's going to be the big difference. I think one of the things that I want to do on the employer side is that I want to give folks opportunity. And so what I mean by that is, as we're still
Hmm.
kind of building out the structure and format of Gumbo Social, I want the staff and the team to be able to Hey, look, if the dishwasher says, hey, I have a passion. I want to really invest in the team. I have a passion for carpentry and I want to go be a carpenter. Well, let's figure out how we get you to carpenter school. You know, if my cashier is like, hey, I want to do, I want to be an esthetician. How do we help that person
Hmm.
with that? Right? How do we pour into our team so we can help them help themselves and then help them
Right.
expand the business? Um, one of the
Hmm.
incredible things we're going to be doing, we'll be closed on Mondays, and one of the big one of the big things that we're going to be doing is I'm really excited about this is that my mom's going to be taking over the kitchen once or twice a week.
Uh-oh.
So Mrs. Cat's going to have a place for her to do her pop-ups so she can do her food.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward. I'm not only am I looking forward to getting the restaurant open, but I'm looking forward to coming to my restaurant to support my mom on her pop-up.
Awesome. Who has taught you, who laid the foundation of your cooking skills, right? And
Absolutely.
now look at how it's coming full circle that you're working together and she's really getting her food out there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. And for her it's more of a passion thing, right?
Hmm.
She's like, look, I want to make some oxtails this week. Go ahead, mom. You make it at the
Let's do
restaurant.
it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So
So, the concept, tell us a little bit about what we can expect in terms of the experience.
yeah, you can expect two things really. You can expect really incredible food,
Hmm.
and you can expect a customizable experience. So going back to that original holiday Gumbo Social, uh, if you want some pork belly on your vegan gumbo,
Hmm.
no one here is going to question you. We ain't going to judge you. If you want, if you're a vegan, you're gonna be right at home
Right.
because we're gonna have a good amount of vegan and vegetarian options. A lot of our people are moving to veganism
Hmm.
as a primary nutrient source, and so a lot of some of the items that we have are going to be vegan. Um, if you are someone who has a shellfish allergy, no worries. We're gonna be able to take care of you. If you're someone who
And
doesn't
plus, it's
eat,
California.
mhm,
And as you know, we are at the top of making sure that we meet dietary needs. So,
right?
as a state.
We some picky people. But
Because speaking, I was in Mississippi and I didn't find not one vegan spot there. So,
right, right. And
but they're coming. Hopefully, they're
everything got
coming.
some hog in it too, right?
Hmm.
And so for I have a really good friend that's Jewish, and he's like, look, man, I want that gumbo, but I can't do the pork. Well, we
Okay,
got smoked turkey gumbo.
nice.
So there's something on the menu for everybody, and you can customize that smoked turkey gumbo. So the add-ons will change. Sometimes we'll have fried chicken that you can add into your gumbo.
Wow. So you really elevated and taking it to another level, right? So for
Hmm.
anyone coming in talking about this is not gumbo because you see chicken in it or whatever you're putting in there different,
Yeah,
it's a new day.
yeah. It not only is it a new day, but when I'm opening up to people is to experience the gumbo the way they want it.
Absolutely.
Right. The only thing that won't change is we're not gonna stop putting okra in the gumbo. So if you don't like okra, then
Hmm.
we're not
Hmm.
for you. But and the thing is, we get the okra in whole, we cut it ourselves, we roast it. Like we take the preparation of the okra.
Right.
But one of the main things is you'll be able to really hack the menu. You'll be able, if we got a shrimp po' boy and you want crab on it and crabs on the add-on menu, you can put it on there if you want it.
Hmm.
So there's no, we like how do we say yes to our guests? That's where we want to be.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that is, so it's all very exciting, right? But you said you're a numbers person too, and doing the math, just staying conscious. I'm sure. How do you take into account what's going on with inflation and delays in getting things? How, do you have that on the top of your radar?
Yeah, it's at the core. We've seen a big hit. We have a breakfast sandwich that we do that people are just in love with,
And the eggs, huh?
and the eggs, and we had to raise prices, and but this is what we did. I think communication and transparency is important. I told our guests on via Instagram, I said, look, the price of eggs are up. This is what we're gonna do. You'll be able to add an egg for $2.
Okay.
We'll keep the sandwich the same, and when the price of eggs go back down, the sandwich will go back to regular price.
I
And I
love
think
it.
that's the difference between us and other companies. In restaurants, we usually we bite the bullet on the inflation because we think that folks may not want to pay the extra price. But what I found through this egg experience is that people are overly supportive to you raising the price if the value is still there
Absolutely. And the quality, right? I
and the
still want good
quality.
food. I
Hmm.
still want good food. And
Yeah,
that's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for the quality, the service, all of that. And I will pay what you're asking for. So,
right. And so, as long as we stayed in that realm, that the
mhm,
product was still good, I think that folks and they weren't being skimped on. And I
mhm,
think people were fine with it. So ultimately, I think we needed to raise the price anyway. But certain things at the farmers market, it's just nice to have these kind of rounded numbers. Sometimes it's nice to have a dish that's a little bit more affordable, just for people, right? Like sometimes you just need an item that's affordable and good
right.
to take care of people. Sometimes people just got $10. You just need to take care of them.
Nice.
And so
Nice.
that's moving into our restaurant. That's one of the things we'll actually be doing, developing what's called the community fund. And so the community fund is folks who been a couple of people who have donated or given to the Kickstarter campaign, and they didn't want anything back.
Hmm.
And so that money is going into our community fund. And what that does is if someone comes in and they don't have enough money or
Hmm.
they don't have any money, there's a gift card always there at the register. As long as that gift card's loaded, folks who don't have funds can eat.
Nice.
And what that will do is just help, for folks who need a little something to eat. You come in, hey, I don't have anything today. If there's money on that in that community fund, you can eat. You can't order the whole menu,
Okay.
but you
And do it
can.
every day, right? I mean,
Right,
what do we don't take advantage of is what you're saying.
right. But
'Cause-
but we're gonna take care of the community
right.
because people are making sure they're taking care of us. So that's a big piece.
Absolutely. So here's one of the most important questions of this interview, this conversation. Why should gumbo be the official dish of America?
Yeah. I always ask people, what's America's national dish today? And most people don't know. And when I tell them, they kind of say, "Really? It's kind of basic." So America's current national dish is a hamburger. Now, I don't know about you, but I like a good smash burger here and there. I like a little
Mhm.
hamburger at a cookout. Uncle Larry's cooking a burger. I like a little bit of that. But I can't get passionate about a burger. I
Right.
can't get culture in all these different flavors and in the smell and um I jokingly say if Gumbo was a woman, her and I would be married. There's
Okay.
something about Gumbo that just it the nourishment, the warmth, the spices, I always tell people the gumbo should be uniquely different than the last time you had it because we have a recipe, but the person who making it puts their effort and soul into it. Um, there's the story of how the gumbo got here. You know, the roots of it, the melding of cultures and the dish itself. Again, I refer it always back to jazz and how we started playing jazz music together. And so I always say, why not? What dish when I mention gumbo and I walk around with the
Mhm.
Gumbo Social shirt, people are always saying, "Where's the gumbo?" No one's doing that for a burger.
No, gumbo
Right.
gets you really excited. I know because it's just a special dish that has such a rich history and a rich taste that anytime I see gumbo on a menu, I'm like, yes,
Right.
So,
I gotta try it. Yeah, I always tell people. I
hmm
tell people that all the time. It's like sometimes I'm just on the hunt for gumbo. I just gotta have it. And I love gumbo so much. I just don't love my gumbo. I love gumbo in general. So
right.
I want to try all these different gumbos. And so that's the reason why. The reason is that gumbo is the most incredible dish. And it's a dish that to me represents what America should be.
hmm
It should be this mix, and it should be a little bit different. It should be a little bit spicy and a little bit salty.
Mm,
And it should change from time to time as we go through stuff and our emotions and feelings. And that's why gumbo should be America's national dish.
I
This
love it.
and I say, give me another dish that that should be. Just give me another one, and I'll stop my mission.
I love. Well, let's see. You got to throw that out there. I don't know if you have already, but throw that question out there on social media. Name another dish besides gumbo that should be the official dish of America. I
Right.
love it. Well, Dante, thank you for speaking with us today. This has been great. Tell us when we can look forward to Gumbo Social. We know it's a restaurant. We know that there's other people involved, such as the city and things like that. So we love a good, you know, the whole process of restaurants. But when is the anticipated opening?
Yeah, yeah. So we're anticipating getting the doors open at somewhat of a soft launch late April. Absolutely have to be open by the first or second week of May. And we'll put out our big grand opening thing, but we got to kind of get moving sooner than later. So I'm telling folks late April, but give Mr. Gumbo a little bit of grace and empathy as we're moving through this thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And so, where can they follow you on social media so that they know when things are really going to be happening and opening?
yeah. Folks, join. Give us an opportunity to wow you with our social media content. Become a part of the social family by following us. It's Gumbo Social on all platforms:
Wonderful.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
And in
Gumbo
the
Social across the
meantime,
board.
they can check you out at the farmers market every Sunday from 9 to 2. And what's that address?
I don't remember the address, but if you Google Outer Sunset Farmers Market, it'll take you right there.
Wonderful, wonderful. And then lastly, I had a final question to you. And did I just forget? Yes, maybe so. But oh, I know what it is. Is it going to be available? So I'm in the East Bay, obviously, Oakland. So caviar, Uber Eats. If I can't make it over to San Francisco.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the short answer, yes.
Okay.
The long answer is we're looking for location number 2 in Oakland. Actually, we're looking to bring the gumbo to
Nice.
the East Bay.
Oh, now that's gonna be okay. Now you got me really excited for that
Yeah,
one too. So
yeah. We're looking for location number 2. We're on the hunt for a space that has the culture and feeling of Gumbo Social.
mhm,
We've looked at a couple of places already, but none really fit that kind of feel. We want to be. I always tell people we want to be in the hood in a place that's approachable to everybody.
okay,
Right? We want to really be able to bring kind of what Gumbo Social is to Oakland. We have a really great East Bay base of folks who love our
wonderful,
product. So
wonderful. And and so what I can sense from you being very intentional. When you find that spot, you'll know. But until then, we'll look forward to spot number one in the Bayview.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, Dante, again, thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to get another bowl of gumbo from Gumbo Social. And so, thank you again. Looking forward to you and wishing you all the success.
thank you so much.
Wonderful. And I'm Cherie Williams with Diaspora Food Stories. And until our next episode, be well.